Well, welcome again to another Moonshot series, and from wherever you are in the world, I happen to be in Brisbane at the Queensland All Schools Secondary Schools competition for touch football. Now this has progressed from what used to be a 3-day event not less than 3 years ago to where now there's 5 days duration, and I believe there's 1,700 games played over those 5 days as teams look to bring a new game, bring a new competition, see what else is playing. And you can tell those that have gone away and reassessed and come back with a new format. And some of them, if they're agile enough, they do that while they're playing and on the field and involved. So keeping in mind the aspect of our mind being a garden, we know that we've discussed nurturing the soil to give opportunity for good seed to take strong root. And that means we also need to go through the weeding of those negative things, as well as though while these plants are developing, these plants of thoughts, words and actions that will move into habits and behaviors, is we need to prune and know how to prune to propagate or to stimulate new growth. Now, these growths might come in the form of buds or shoots, leaves or fruit. So buds of new ideas to explore and shoots of opening and expanding opportunities, leaves for protection and shelter, and the delightful fruits that are your desired outcomes. For those of you who, like me, are active in exercise and fitness, we've been taught that to build muscle, you need to break it down to allow growth, to allow mass and to allow strength. And for the better part of this year, I've been expanding my awareness of human flow and movement. And the learning from Ido Patel has expanded not only my awareness, but also my flexibility and my movement and my life balance. And I attended a zoo class about 3 weeks ago, and at that class I was able to build on top of what I'd learned from Ido Patel in a different perspective. So always be looking for new opportunities to shift your game up, changing your game to get you better results. So these changes to the new moves that I'd learned from human flow through the zoo class were able to extend my flexibility. So looking at then what we do and how we do things, today's your opportunity to take an active step in assessing your life. Look at your personal aspects. What are the areas in your life, in your thoughts, your words and language, in your behaviors that could do with change, that could help you to improve? In your business, what are the segments that seem to be stagnating or not performing as well as others have, or what needs to be adjusted to keep pace with growth in those other areas? Here you're going to identify what needs to be trimmed, what needs to be cut, what needs to be let go, what needs to be added in as you make the adjustments to further your journey and to further your impact. So think about what are the things that you can break. Now Mark Zuckerberg quoted, "Move fast and break things." And if you're not breaking things, then you're not moving fast enough. And people have taken that in different ways. So depending on your perspective, if you see a bull in a china shop just rampaging until he gets what he wants, then I'm going to ask you to change that. The breaking is talking about the perspective that you need to let things go in order to move forward. And unfortunately, this is the biggest thing that I find people have a challenge with in breaking habits, in changing their mindset, is they're not prepared to let go and move out of their comfort zone. So look at what are the things that you need to break. You also mentioned fast. Now that's not in a manner of disregard or abandon, but fast in the change. Don't dwell on the things that haven't worked. Identify them, look at what else you can change, and be prepared to move forward. Break records, not necessarily break everybody else around you or break yourself. Heed Einstein's counsel. If you really want to achieve a better result, then you need to shift gears. You need to shift things up a bit. So look at what you can break to achieve new growth. What boundaries need to be broken that you've had and that hold you back? What thought patterns need to be broken? What language and communication barriers need to be torn down? What unproductive habits need to be gone and changed and replaced so there's not a void that's just going to allow you to swing back? And as you do these things, you'll move yourself forward, looking for that flow in your life that's going to power your progression, your development, your fulfillment, and your joy. Live, love, and serve again through this week. And next week I'll talk about the things that you see. What do you see? Live, love, serve.